Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my channel. This is my random recipe. These are the condiments. Today I'm going to be making creams. I was planning to make a 2-for-1 today, but after a lot of thought and consideration, I realized today needs to be a 3-for-1. I was going to make Bavarian Cream and Chantilly Cream. Then I was trying to figure out what to put them on or with, and I was like, okay, so a nice chocolate cake. That seemed to be a logical choice, but then what? But then I need to frost it, and what kind of frosting do I use? Well, so I came up with whipped cream frosting. Whipped cream frosting is a variation on Chantilly cream, so I'll be making Bavarian cream and 2 versions of Chantilly cream. So it looks like I have my work cut out for me today. So I better get to it. I'm going to do the whipped cream first, and I'm going to do it right here. And I'm going to cut the sugar down that goes into it by half, because half of this whipped cream recipe goes into the Bavarian cream. There's nothing fancy about this. It's just 1 cup of heavy whipped cream. It says to go ahead and add the sugar and the vanilla right now, so I'm doing that. This is 1.5 teaspoons of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then into the mixer it goes. So we start off with kind of a low speed, and then we'll go up from there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get it going. It's actually still kind of soft. I think I'm gonna put it back on for another moment. Here we go. Let's take a look. Let's check that out again. Okay, that looks good. All right, so that's soft peaks. That's all we have to do to make the Chantilly cream, version number 1. And I'm supposed to scoop this out and cover it, and it's going in the fridge. So this is our Chantilly cream. Gotta try it just a little bit. It isn't super sweet, but that's because we cut the sugar in half. It's only got 1.5 teaspoons. I'm gonna cover this up. I'll put it in the fridge, and then we're gonna move on to our next recipe. I've moved over to the stove because this is where we're gonna do the Bavarian cream. So I have a saucepan on the stove, and I'll turn it down so you can see what I'm doing. That looks good. I'll read through the ingredients as I go. So we're starting off with 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. This is 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 1.5 cups of regular milk. I'll stir a little bit to get things kind of moving. I'll turn this up. We'll start about medium. Cook and stir until mixture thickens and boils. Cook and stir 2 to 3 minutes more. There you go. This is starting to boil. It's beginning to thicken. Now this is where we're going to let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to split the difference, and I'll go 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to move this off the heat. I'm supposed to beat an egg. Okay, and then we're supposed to take a little bit of the cream and add it to the eggs. So we're going to temper our egg, so it doesn't end up scrambling it. Okay, so I'm going to stir this in, and then to put it back on, I guess, on the heat, and bring it just to a boil. Okay. I believe we are done. But this needs to cool, and once it does, we're going to add half of the Chantilly cream. Go ahead and stop the camera now, and then we'll move on to our next project. Now we're going to do project number 3. So we're going to do Chantilly cream, but it's going to be for whipped cream frosting. So instead of using granulated sugar, we're going to be using powdered sugar. So the amount of sugar that it gets added to it might be a little bit more, because it takes more powdered sugar to give it structure. This is another cup of heavy cream. That goes straight in. I will add the vanilla now. That is 1/2 teaspoon. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing moving. It's just kind of a non-specific recipe. So here's some powdered sugar. I'm going to add a little bit at a time. We want whipped cream again like we did before, but we are using just a different sugar. So it's going to be a little bit firmer. Sorry about the noise. I think it looks good. We don't want it to turn into butter. That's good and solid. This is our frosting, or a variation on Chantilly cream. Take this out of here. So if you can see into there, that's our whipped cream frosting. I do want to taste it. Good. Okay, I like that. Bavarian cream, we have to wait until it's completely cool before we can actually move forward anymore. Hi, I forgot to turn my mic on for this portion of the video. So right now we're going to be assembling our cake. So I've got my lower layer of my cake here. Okay, and then we're going to use Bavarian cream for the filling between the layers. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment. And I've got my Bavarian cream here. I covered it with plastic wrap while it was in the refrigerator cooling so that it wouldn't grow a skin. And then we're going to take half of the whipping cream and fold it in to the Bavarian cream. So we're going to scoop out some of this whipping cream, about half. Add it to the Bavarian cream. It gives it some loft. Maybe a little more. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to gently fold in the whipped cream into the Bavarian cream. We want it well combined. But you still want to be gentle with it because you don't want to lose the fluffiness of the whipping cream. And this is where I realized I forgot my mic. So we're folding in this whipped cream into the Bavarian cream. We want it nicely combined. And this Bavarian cream is going to be the filling between my layers of my cake. I think that's about what we're going to have. So here's the cake. And we're going to put some of this Bavarian cream in the middle and spread it around. Now the other layer. And gently turn it over without breaking it. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to set that on there. Oh, it cracked. That's why we want some toothpicks to hold it together. Bringing in my whipped cream frosting. And because of the powdered sugar, it should hold it pretty well. Although it still will be needing to be refrigerated because it's all dairy. I was afraid we were going to have way too much. Looks like we're going to use most of it. Okay, I think we're good. We used up most of it, so there's not a whole lot left. I have some raspberries with some blueberries out of my yard. I'll put a little bit of whipping cream on that. I get to taste the whipping cream as is. There we go. Just a little bit. Piece of cake with a side of berries. I think I'll start there. This is my sample. Those are good. A little tangy. Let's try our cake. Got a little bit of the Bavarian filling. It's good. It's very light. Surprisingly light. The cake is even not really super heavy. Just a little bit of the Bavarian cream. I want to try that by itself. Kind of the consistency of pudding, but it's different flavor. It's kind of a mellower flavor than a like vanilla pudding. It's actually quite nice. I think there it goes. A nice looking cake. Today is the only time I will be doing sweet condiments. I do think I made Bavarian cream maybe once before. I know I've made Chantilly cream a ton of times before. I just never knew that's what it was called. I just always thought it was called whipped cream. I didn't realize it actually had a real name. Then with whipped cream frosting, it's just Chantilly cream with using powdered sugar instead of granulated sugar, so it has more structure, so it'll hold up better. I'm learning new things all the time. That's a good thing. As for next time, I'll let you see if you can figure out what I'm going to be making. It is a condiment, but it's a vegetable. So in the comments, if you want to try and guess what I'm going to make, that would be, I'd love to hear from you. I will include the ingredients for the preparation for the Bavarian cream, the Chantilly cream of both types, the whipping cream frosting, in the description below. you have any questions or other feedback for me, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. I really love hearing from you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. It helps my channel to continue to grow. Thank you for joining me on my journey through the condiments and through the creams today. Thank you very much. I will see you again next time.